Good morning, ladies. I see you all coming in. Good morning. Good morning. We will be starting in just a minute. Please hang with me. Uh, okay. All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good,
Sounds
good,
good.
good.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Jules. Good morning. We are so glad for you all to get up on this beautiful Saturday morning. And we have a very, very special guest with us this morning, Ms. Tamika Baker, who is also a jewel. We are going to get started, so we won't waste any time this morning. I just want to thank you all. We are talking about a positive mindset shift. We are coming off a fantabulous women's conference on last month in person in Gulfport, and we are looking forward to our 2025. But for today, we are coming forth and we want to get some valuable information because we know that every day that we're here on this earth that we want to grow, and what better way to grow than to have a positive mindset shift. So with that being said, I am going to mute myself, unless Ms. Tamika has any questions of me. She is going to introduce herself and jump right in, and we're excited to have you here this morning. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, and good morning to everyone. I'm hoping everyone is doing well, and will appreciate the message that I have to give. It's something that's very personal to me. Mental wellness is everything to myself and my family. It just basically is what we need to keep going. Sometimes you have to find inspiration around you. Sometimes you got to propel your own inspiration. So I'm hoping that my message is well received and you can find value in it. Again, thank you for introducing me. Thank you for inviting me. Um, I'm honored. So thank you. Um, I knew one thing. I wanted my message to be a positive mindset, but I wanted to make sure that how I said it would reach to all ages, all situations, professional, personal, and just if you're working on your journey, if you've established your journey, it can be well received. So let me get to it, okay? A positive mindset starts with a healthy mindset. You have the ability to overcome and achieve goals. How would you measure your attitude? Do you approach situations and difficulties in life with optimism? Managing through challenges with a positive mindset and the right attitude can bring about better chances of improvement in circumstances. It's so much more than just smiling. It's a choice and understanding you can make the best out of a tough situation. The mindset is powerful and is a very important factor in achieving goals. A positive mindset can set a goal, is unafraid of achieving them, and understands hurdles that may develop are all a part of the journey. Mindset has a large influence on mental wellness, increased self worth, and overall physical health. As quoted by Dolly Parton, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you have to put up with the rain. End quote. I remember a time in my youth that there was a lot of rain. My great aunt and uncle had a tremendous part in raising my siblings and I. But despite the struggles we faced, we knew two things: we were loved and we were together. I know that this consistent environment of love, support, and assurance kept our spirits high as we experienced tough situations. Having positive reinforcements and a supportive environment is a sure way to maintain a healthy mindset. It certainly aids in times of uncertainty to be surrounded by positive and uplifting people. A healthy mindset may require a reflection of who you are. How do you feel about yourself? No one is perfect, but inward reflection can help you face personal barriers that can prevent not so positive thoughts in your mindset that can hinder current and future opportunities. It is okay to say, I matter. I am worthy. I am enough. I forgive me. Challenges make me stronger and wiser. All I need is within me. I believe in myself. I am chosen and wanted. I am confident and capable. These affirmations can cause a great improvement on the journey to cultivate a positive mindset. Are you able to visualize the goal you set for yourself in completion? What does it look and feel like? Living off the excitement of visualization of your goal completed can manifest the drive you need to see it in reality. Visualization is defined as a simple technique that you can use to create a strong mental image of a future event. With this tactic, you can practice and prepare to build the confidence you need to perform well. As quoted by G. Boston, when it comes to goals, don't just say it, see it. Don't just think it, feel it. Learning how to manage and maintain a positive mindset varies by person, by way of religion, being with nature, meditation, journaling, therapy, prayer, faith, and even your hobbies. The goal is to keep negative thoughts from distracting and preventing you from achieving your full potential. As quoted by J. Cole, when you put yourself in uncomfortable moments, you find out a lot about yourself, and usually you'll find out that you're capable of rising that bar that is set by that uncomfortable situation. My fellow management member, Delisha Lee, approached me about speaking for You Are a Jewel Incorporated. At first, I was surprised that someone believed that my message, my voice, would be appreciated for a great cause. At first, I dodged the call, but I had to remind myself that I can overcome and that I was equipped to do so. I had to believe that my voice, my message was worth hearing. Many of the things mentioned, I've done and I continue to do. I also had to remember that I also poured inspiration and encouragement into Delisha. In our current management roles, we consistently train and mentor our teams. However, the same goals go for each other. Encouraging ourselves to step out on faith and expose our know how and experience with others of the same positive mindset to create and cultivate positivity and growth opportunities. I believe that you can show appreciation. And for that, I appreciate you, Delisha Lee, and Tracy Cameron's team. You Are Jewel Incorporated as a platform where my voice can be valued and can be heard. I'll end my message with this quote. Validation is not the fuel for your purpose. It is the reminder that you are on the right path. I want to thank you all for being heard and most of all for your time.
Amen. Amen. You know what? It doesn't take a long, drawn out speech to get the point across. I want to just kind of elaborate just a little bit because we have some people that's just joining us. Of course, Miss Tamika, we're going to have some people watch the replay. But you talked about if you want the rainbow, you have to put up with the rain.
Yes.
Can you kind of, if you feel comfortable, can you kind of elaborate and help the ladies on our platform here to really understand what in what capacity that rain might come? I know people are, well, I understand what that means. You know, you got to go through troubles, but you know, when we're talking about a mindset shift, sometimes it's not necessarily a physical rain. And I'm not talking about water rain. I'm about
Right.
the things that are external. But what things would you what advice could you give those individuals who are listening to us today about some of those rains? And then sometimes the amount of time sometimes it takes to get to that rainbow. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Absolutely. I can tell you of a personal journey. Most of the wonderful accolades that I've been able to achieve in the background, you know, you might see me smiling, but in the background, I might be dealing with something very tough or faced with some very, very tough decisions because you hope that the wave of whatever you're dealing with that's a challenge comes in small spurts, but sometimes it come in one big wave and it can overcome you. Understanding and sometimes relating to wins of the past or inspirational things that you've been through, or you know someone who's been through those things and how they overcome them can sometimes be just enough power to get through what you're dealing with. I know that when I graduated college, in my mind, oh man, when I graduate college, opportunities are going to fall into my lap. This is what I need to do. And for a lot of people who graduate college, it doesn't always go like that. Sometimes you might be in that same position that you were in. It didn't require a degree, but at the same time, the gift comes when it comes. It doesn't come always when you want it to. So you have to understand and believe in yourself, not because someone's fueling you at times, because sometimes you got to find an inspiration. Think about one of the hardest things that you've ever had to face and how you got through it. I have to look at that all the time. I'm human. I know one thing. I have a very close friend that reminded me it's okay to cry, but we ain't going to be crying for long. It's okay to shed a few tears, but let's put a plan together. You will feel so much better that you're working on a solution rather than sitting in that feeling of what you're unable to do and how much of a uh, inconvenience the situation is, because nothing worth having doesn't come without trial. I'm married.
Absolutely.
There's trials in that. As long as the two
Mm,
people are dedicated to working things out and moving forward, what can you not do? You can't have a relationship on your own. You got to have someone who's fighting with you. So whether it's in your professional background, your personal background, you achieve this high of high, but then something happens that's unfortunate that kind of takes away the high that you can feel. It's always
mm.
up to you. It's okay to fall. You got to get back up. It's
Oh,
okay to
absolutely.
cry. You got to put a plan together. And that's how you keep moving.
Mm. You know what, you touched on something so true about putting a plan together. Some people negate that step, and they think that just walking into it, you have to really sit down and just really think about where you are, you know what I mean? Because the first thing, what one of the things that I live by is the first thing to over first step to overcoming is to realize that there's an issue. I remember when I was going through a state of severe depression. Um, and if you talk to my family and friends and co-workers, they would say, when, you know what I mean?
Right.
When were you going through but I went through about a year of a
Mhm.
severe depression and never shared it with anyone. And sometimes the smile that you see on someone's face, you don't necessarily know what's going on in their mind and in their hearts. And I had
Mhm.
to stop. And I, that thing still try to creep up every once in a while.
Mhm.
But I had to stop and say, Tracy, you are experiencing this. Yes, you are a Christian. Yes, you believe, that faith without works is dead. Yes, you believe that God, takes care of everything. But you, as
Mhm.
an individual, because He gave us a choice, you have to recognize. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's like it says, He knocks on the door, but you have to open it. That opening of the
Absolutely.
door is you recognizing that there's something going on, that you need
Mhm.
a positive shift, a mindset shift. So that
Yes.
recognition there, and it doesn't always go away. And I don't know about you, you can
Mhm.
say, but that, and the rain doesn't ever stop completely.
Right.
Like today, it may be a hard rain. Like that year
Mhm.
of severe depression, that was like a
Mhm.
storm. That was on,
Yes.
that was, I was almost, I ain't gonna say I was category 5 hurricane, but I was by
Mhm.
out between that 3 and 4. And to me, that's
Mhm.
severity. Because what do you do physically when you get to that point? The news people say you need to get out, go somewhere else,
Right.
right? It's that severe. And so, but you have to recognize it, but you also have to recognize the little storms. What it's just, I wrote that down. I'm gonna post that little saying in quotes on the page, because
Mhm.
just this weekend I'll be celebrating my 49th birthday Thursday, which I'll be working.
Right.
So I came to my husband and I planned our trip here. I'm in New Orleans right now, so planned our trip here. And this was
Hmm.
supposed to be a fun-filled weekend with my husband. Short weekend, but fun-filled because I'm on the road all week and he's a truck driver. He's on the road all week. And
Right.
so he couldn't come. And so I felt that thing creeping in. I felt it creeping
Hmm.
in. I felt like crying yesterday.
Hmm.
I called and asked some family members and friends, and it's late. You know what I mean?
Right.
They've got that because I was planning for my husband to be here, and I couldn't get anybody to be able to come over. I have one person checking to see if they can maneuver it now because I'm thinking about okay, we got lost money with this ticket, but it's just the
Right.
fact of being here by myself. But you know what I had to say? You know what? There is a rainbow in this.
Absolutely.
That mindset shift, you have to turn that thing around. When I was introducing your topic last night, just to kind of make
Hmm.
sure get it fresh on everybody's mind again, I said, you know what, we have to recognize and want the shift.
Absolutely.
You also said something else. You said, and I didn't get all of it, you can tell
Hmm.
me. You said don't just say it, see it. And what else
Yes.
did you say?
Visualize getting there. When I was looking at the topic, because I knew what I wanted to cover, it was just kind of like, okay, how's it going to come to me? When I started looking at just different things when it comes to positive mindset, I was very, very surprised to see that a lot of our greats that we see have done that and they've achieved very, very wonderful things. LeBron James uses visualization to see where he was going to be and just work to get there. The late Kobe Bryant had one of the most impactful things to say in a podcast that was done by Valuetainment, where he was explaining, how players, they get this money and when they get into professional sports and they're partying with all their friends, and he would never do that. And when he was asked why he would never do that, he was explaining that I could use that same time that I used to party to put my all into what I believe that I can do. I worked so hard to get there. We will get to have a good time, but while I'm here, for the moment that I want it for myself, I wanted to be all in. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say, you know what? I might not be the smartest, but I'm able. Everything that's within you is enough. It's you applying it. Some some of us have not been in a situation where we had a positive environment to thrive from. Some of us have been blessed with it. Knowing that you have the power of choice is all you need. Everything you need to overcome is already in you. You're literally just tapping in to get there. You will question yourself. You're supposed to. It's a part of the journey. But the goal is not to stay down long. The goal is to pick yourself up. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel what you felt. I had some experience with high functioning depression. It's a real thing. A lot of single mothers go through high functioning depression. A lot of people who have the weight in the world go through high functioning depression. You don't think it's depression because they don't move the idea of what we see as depression. Depression, what we see or we think about is someone who's just lost they just lost encouragement. They don't believe. They're just
Yeah,
here, they're just existing. Depression falls into so many different categories. I try to find inspiration in everything that I do, everything that I am. If I go outside and the sun is shining, I'll just take a second just to enjoy that because we know we've been through some, crazy weather patterns. If you are in a cold region, it got really cold.
yeah,
If you were in a not so cold region, for some reason, it got really cold. So we've all experienced some highs and some lows, but sometimes just taking a moment to just appreciate the rain because after that, that's when the rainbow comes. So sometimes it's the good fortune of knowing that I'm going through this to get to my better. It has to
absolutely,
happen. Why do plants grow from dirt? Got to have dirt for something to grow. You have to
absolutely,
figure out what it is that you want, and then you just create a plan to get there. There's nothing wrong with being a dreamer. There's nothing wrong with wanting. You just got to keep it up. Sometimes you'll be blessed with having an environment that cultivates you to go ahead and encourages you to be great. Sometimes you have to rely on yourself and tell yourself
Ooh,
what you can do. You got to
absolutely.
remind yourself what I can do, what I've done can be a great source of inspiration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That listen, that's a perfect that's a perfect place right there to let that just marinate on what you were saying. Miss Tamika, I so appreciate you coming on this morning. And what I'm asking those jewels that will come back and hear the replay, you guys just first of all, share it. That's the
Hmm.
first thing, because we know that most of the women that are on this UR Jewel platform are busy mothers. They're
Hmm.
working women. You know what I mean? And if they're like me, I have to, because I do this page, that I have to consciously say, put it in my planner. But
Right.
share it. And we want, if you're listening as well, turn on the notifications. Good morning, Miss Shannon Thomas. Thank you for joining us this morning. Because sometimes I can see the names and sometimes I can't.
Right.
So but just share this, and not only share this particular live, but also, and you can't share it like you normally would. You have to send it.
Okay.
And the reason we do that, it's a private page, but we want you to make sure that individuals get it in their messenger that may really need it. Don't
Right.
make the assumption. I challenge everybody that hears this to send it to
Hmm.
your two best friends. Send it to
Hmm.
your sisters who may or may not be on the UR Jewel platform, because we do have a YouTube page. So they can
Hmm.
go there and hear it. I'm asking all of our jewels to subscribe to the YouTube page so you can actually share it on the YouTube page. But do that. We want you just to hear and to see, because all the information that we're shooting out, and if you'll notice, we're trying to get more and more this year. We want to ensure that the word is getting out, because we want every woman here under the sound of this platform and under the sound of my voice and Miss Tamika's voice this morning to reach that level of self-actualization. We don't want you to get to those last days and say, you know what? I wasn't reflective. Maybe I
Yes.
didn't live my life to the fullest. Maybe
Hmm.
I could have did something a little different. And we
Yes.
may or may not have regret and maybes, but there's no reason for us to have a ton of regret and maybes when we could do something
Absolutely.
about it right now. And
Absolutely.
it's as a mindset shift.
Hmm.
So I thank you so much this morning. I
Thank you
really
for the opportunity. I really do appreciate it because, again, this is just another example of challenging yourself. I mean, it was easy to run. We could come up with excuses. I mean, Delisha will tell you, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
well, I'm glad you
um,
did.
I
And
did
my
too.
viewers are as well. And they'll, like I said, a lot of them will see it on the replay. But those of you who are here live this morning, thank you for being here. If you didn't catch the beginning, go back and catch the beginning and share it with someone. Send it to someone in Messenger, share it someone on the UR Jewel YouTube page. And I thank you guys. Just a couple of announcements before we sign off this morning. I'm gonna stand up a little bit so you can see. You guys, if you can see this, this was our UR Jewel. This was our conference t-shirt. So all of our board members wore these during the conference. And I actually have someone who is willing to make some for me. So as you know, that outside of this platform, UR Jewel is actually a nonprofit organization, 501c3 certified, and we do scholarships. And actually, we are embarking on some summer projects with some younger children, doing the leadership conferences where we're going to be in the planning stages of that really soon. And so donations are accepted. And so that's what, if you were to purchase one of these UR Jewel t-shirts, they're $20. There is a PayPal link just for UR Jewel, that those funds go directly into the UR Jewel account. So if you are wanting to purchase a t-shirt, I have a few, very few, because the t-shirts cost to make. So I have a very few, but I have someone who's on standby who has the pattern. If we don't have that size, and we can get it to you. So anyway, I'm just letting you know, putting it out there. Once our web page is up, which will be very soon, these things will have links to them. And so we're working on that right now, but we do have the t-shirts. And the last thing is, I'm going to remind every month and every time I get on, children, seniors who are in the Jackson and Harrison County area, applications for the Agnes James Memorial Scholarship will be going out. Actually, my goal is next week. It'll be going to the schools, to the counselors. And so I'm telling you, and you Jules out there who can hear me, you have, seniors, or you have seniors in the area, please tell them to apply for that scholarship. The soul of the crux of it is community service. There's a few other things, but not a whole lot. Tell them to ask their counselors about it. Ask their counselors about it. Definitely by next Friday, which will be, they're coming off of spring break. Well, in the area where I live, they're coming off of spring break, but just make sure they ask counselors. And if you are in the Bolivar County or the Washington County area in the Mississippi Delta, there is another scholarship for seniors, for students who will be attending a technical school. And that is a $500 scholarship as well. That is the Lionel B. James Memorial Scholarship. So those applications will be going out to Bolivar County and Washington County high schools as well. So anyway, just get them out there. Make sure we want as many to apply. We had lots of applicants last year. For our small organization, we had about 20 applicants, which is a lot for us because we're small. But we're looking to double that this year, so we'll have a variety. And if we get those donations rolling in, we can up the ante, up the amount, and up the number of children who are receiving them, because it's all about the babies for me. Y'all know I'm a 29-year educator, so it's all about children and their mind as well as their intelligence for me. So anyway, thank you this morning. Again, thank you, Miss Tamika Baker, for being here this morning. An ordinary woman doing extraordinary things. That mindset is certainly an extraordinary thing. We thank you. We can't thank you enough. And we will be signing off now. Is there any last things you'd like to do, Miss Tamika, before we sign off this morning?
I think Aaliyah said it best. At first you don't succeed, get up and try again. That's all you can do. That's what life is. That's a continuous way that things go. You're going to have highs of highs. You will go through lows of lows. You can get through it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Jules.